What's up guys, I'm Roderick, aka Rodman, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at the worst areas from every single Souls game. As we all know, the Souls games are really hard. A big reason of that is the bosses, and another reason is because of the areas. So if you like retro video gaming, anime, and gameplay videos, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content just like this. So let's get right into the video. So before I get started, I want to say that this list is pretty much based on my personal experience, of course. If there's anything that you struggle with or you think is worse than what I say, go ahead and leave it down in the comment section below. But for Demon Souls, actually one of the strong points of the game is that the areas are really good, especially in the PS5 remake. It has very vibrant colors and it's just very immersive, especially with the PS5 controller. But one of the areas that was pretty lackluster was the Valley of Defilement. Pretty much, it's a common trend in the Souls series to have at least one poison swamp area or one like gross area where you're getting hit with a lot of status effects, and that is the Valley of Defilement in Demon Souls. So that's one thing that I didn't like. The other part, that there's two other things that I didn't like about the Valley of Defilement, and that was the soul count that you get for killing enemies is absolutely pathetic at this point in the game. This isn't a super far point in the game, but there's no reason why you're getting 20 to 50 souls per enemy. It's completely absurd. On top of that, this place is very maze-like. There's two sections. It almost reminds me of Blighttown, but a lot better, honestly. But the level design is pretty good. Like I said, Demon Souls has really good areas. This area isn't necessarily terrible. It's just kind of meh and just lackluster. But let's go ahead and move on to Dark Souls 1. So the worst area in Dark Souls 1 is definitely going to have to be Blighttown. This shouldn't really be a surprise to anybody. This area really sucks. A lot of the worst areas in Dark Souls are going to be very poison based, but this one takes it to the next level. It's not even poison, it's venom, and venom drains your health so fast to where you pretty much can't even recover in time before you get to the bonfire. And not only that, this is a pretty early area in the game that you're getting hit with this, and a lot of the difficulties even come outside of gameplay. It drops your frames down really low because there's a lot of stuff going on, people shooting venom darts, and it's really hard to handle. Even in the remastered version of Dark Souls 1, there are significant frame drops. But I'm not gonna rip into Blighttown too much because literally every other YouTuber does it. They just like to bag on Blighttown. It's hard. I mean, I don't want to say that it's unenjoyable, but it's definitely the worst area in Dark Souls 1 and one of the worst areas in the Souls series. A close second was the Lost Izalith, but Blighttown definitely takes the cake over that. But let's go ahead and move on to Dark Souls 2. So is this any surprise to anybody? The worst area in Dark Souls 2, and honestly this is probably the worst area in the entire Souls series, and that's going to the Frigid Outskirts. It's terrible. You can barely see. Don't even get me started on those reindeers, bro. Please. Oh my gosh, this area was literally traumatizing. I really had to force myself to slodge myself through this area. It's just poor design in my opinion. If you're a fan of the Zelda series, this area really reminds me of the Gerudo Desert area, to where you can't really see and you have to rely on landmarks and things like that. Or it's similar to a Lost Woods as well. But everybody bags on Frigid Outskirts. We know that it's a terrible place, so I'm not gonna sit here for like 5 minutes and nitpick about what's wrong with it. But if you enjoyed the Gerudo Desert in Zelda, you might enjoy the Frigid Outskirts. The frigid outskirts, honestly, really ain't that bad if you take out the reindeers. But yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to Dark Souls 3. So this is a toss-up because a lot of people don't like Fair and Keep. It is another stereotypical poison area. But the thing with Fair and Keep is it's really just like lame. It's real gray. But the Irithyll dungeon definitely takes the cake for me because of those monsters that Cowboy just killed on screen. They lower your max health. So you're going to be running around with 1 health. It's extremely annoying. They don't just drain your health. They literally drain your max health. And there's nothing really you can do about it. You just kind of have to wait for it to slowly get back up. And guess what? It doesn't fill all the way back up with your health. It leaves you at 1 health. So you have to use an Estus flask, 1 or 2 to get back to full health. It's very, very annoying. The enemies in this area, there's a lot of ambushes in this area. I will say I do like the atmosphere a bit better than Fair and Keep. It's a little bit spooky, almost like Bloodborne-ish. But the enemies in here suck, man. They really do suck, and it makes going through this place pretty much a living hell. And there's no boss here either. But so it's kind of like you're just waiting to get to the end to get the bonfire so you can continue. But let's move on to Bloodborne. Just like I said for Demon Souls, Bloodborne actually has a lot of good areas. There aren't really any bad areas in Bloodborne. But the Nightmare Frontier probably is the worst area in Bloodborne because of one thing. Frenzy. Oh my gosh. If you don't know what Frenzy is almost like bleed buildup in Dark Souls 3, to where if your Frenzy meter builds all the way up, you lose a massive chunk of your health. Sometimes even just straight up one-shotting you. So have good luck. Good luck, man, going through this place. It's really tough. It is really tough. And I mean, it's still fun though. Don't get me twisted. Don't get it wrong. This area is still very, very entertaining, but that frenzy and then the enemies are super aggressive with you. It's just very, very frustrating to have to deal with. But let's go ahead and move on to Sekiro. If you guys watched my worst bosses from every Souls games video, you would know that for Sekiro, I said the worst boss were the Snake Eyes, the ladies with the guns. And I believe that the worst area in Sekiro is definitely the Sunken Valley. Pretty much you have a bunch of people just sniping at you. It is so annoying. You can barely see when the bullets are coming because they're just posted up somewhere super far away. It's super annoying to navigate. You pretty much have to kill. You can't just run past them. You actually have to kill all of them pretty much because they're going to keep sniping at you. Fortunately enough though, there is a checkpoint right after you get past the snipers, which is cool. But on top of the fact, you have to kill a Snake Eyes to even get to this area of the game, which is already something that I'm not trying to do. But it's super, super frustrating. It's super frustrating. And then guess what? This direction is where Guardian Ape is. So have fun with that. But nah, Sekiro's a great game. It has great areas, but this area didn't do it for me. Guardian Ape was just, it made me quit the game for a while, not gonna lie. But let's go ahead and move on to the finale in Elden Ring. So the worst area in Elden Ring, I'm definitely going to have to say the Lake of Rot. And obviously the reason why I'm saying this is because you forcefully have to go through the lake. There's no other way. Yeah, you can activate the floorboards or whatever to make traversing the Lake of Rot a little bit easier, but You have to walk through the lake. There's no other option that you have. And pretty much you're going to be inflicted with scarlet rot, which is worse than poison, because that junk literally shreds it obliterates your health. So if you don't have those, I forget what the item is called, it's like something bleeding bulbs maybe. If you don't have those, don't even bother coming to the Lake of Rot, because you're just signing your own death sentence. The reason why I say the Lake of Rot is so bad though, it's not even necessarily, nah, I can't defend this place. I'm trying to defend it and say it's not too bad, but nah, this place is terrible. Definitely one of the worst areas in any Souls game, where you forcefully have to take damage and you forcefully are going to be put to the brink of death. And that's what I like about Souls games. It's like when you go into a boss room or you go into an area, if you know what you're doing, you cannot take damage and you can play flawlessly. But Lake of Rot and Farron Keep and these places that have you forcefully taking poison damage and tick damage, they suck. But look how fast it's draining your health. This isn't just no regular poison. But tell me what you guys think in the comment sections down below. This is going to wrap up the video. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content just like this. Ramen out. Peace.